Hey guys, it's Julia, and today I'm going to be doing my October wrap-up and my Spooktacular Adventure Readathon wrap-up video. Okay, so I did not read as much as I would have liked to this month. It's not a bad reading month compared to a lot of people, but it's not how I would have liked to have gone out of October. I would have liked to have read at least 5 books. I ended up reading 3 books, which is, like I said, is not bad considering it is coming up to the end of the year, and I do want to make that Goodreads goal, which I don't think is going to happen because I have 2 months left and I am only like halfway through or a little over halfway through my reading goal. I think I'd have to read like 30 more books in the 2 months that are left in the year, and I just don't think that that's like physically possible for me with everything that I got going on, and especially because NaNoWriMo started today and I'm into that full on head first. Like, that is happening. That is one of my top priorities right now, so reading is going to come after that this month, so I probably won't read that much this month either. But anyway, I'm just going to get right into this video. So the first book that I read this month was The Disappearances by Emily Bain Murphy, and this one is about this girl whose mom dies and she goes and lives with her mom's best friend when her dad is drafted into the army, and her little brother go stay in this town with her mom's best friend. And in this town there's very weird things that start happening that she notices. Things like her reflection doesn't show up in mirrors, she can't smell certain smells or any smells at all, you can't see the stars, just really weird things. She ends up finding out that every 7 years something disappears, and it's just this curse on this town. If you were in town or born in the town when the curse started, then the disappearances will still be the same even if you leave the town. But if you were born in another town and you came into the town, then if you leave the town, then you'll go back to normal. You won't have these issues anymore. So Ayla and some of her friends that she meets in this town have to kind of figure out why the disappearances happen and make them stop happening. There's a new disappearance shortly after Ayla arrives in the town, and they end up losing something really dear to all of them. And then not 7 years later, only a couple months later, they lose another thing which isn't supposed to happen. It's only supposed to happen every 7 years. That leads them into trying to figure out what is causing them and why it is happening and how they can stop it. So I really enjoyed this story. I think I gave it a 4.5 or 5-star rating, and if you guys want to see me do a review on this, I'd be more than happy to do that. The next book that I read was one of the books that I chose for Spooktacular Readathon, I believe it's called, the one hosted by Novel Thought. I read Stalking Jack the Ripper by Carrie Maniscalco, and this was actually our BookTube book club pick of the month also, which we are yet to do a live show because we've been so busy, but we are going to do one here in the next week or 2. It is going to come later, but I am so excited to talk about this book. If you don't know, this story is about a girl who is really into forensic. Her uncle is like a top-notch forensic guy and she wants to study under him, but her dad is this kind of like germ freak and doesn't want her leaving the house ever, and is very overprotective since her mom died of a sickness. These killings start happening where these girls are getting brutally murdered, and she decides that she's gonna kind of throw herself into finding out who this murderer is, and she meets this guy who's kind of like an ass, but she ends up liking him, and they work together to kind of solve these murders and trying to figure out who Jack is that's killing all these women and why he's killing these women. I really enjoyed this book. I think I gave it a 3.5 or 4-star rating. I can't remember for sure, but I did really enjoy it. It was the perfect read for Halloween. I did put it off. I've been wanting to read it since last Halloween, and the second book just came out, which I am going to read here soon because I did enjoy this book, but I did want to save it for Halloween time, so I'm glad that I got to read it this month. The last book is one that I am still currently reading, and it did come in the October bookie boxes, and that is Dare Mighty Things, which I've kind of talked about what it's about, so I'm not going to go too much into detail, but it is kind of like a sci-fi book, and it's really good, and it has a lot of diversity in it. It has like so many different cultures and so many different sexualities in it, and I really highly recommend it if you're someone who really likes to read diverse books, because wow, she did an amazing job, the author did, in meshing all these different cultures and interact, and it's really cool. She really did her research as far as cultural things go, and I'm really enjoying it. I think I'm a little more than halfway through now, so I should finish it in the next couple days, which is why I'm including it in this wrap-up instead of including it in my next month's wrap-up, and because I only read a total of 2.5 books, so I wanted to include this in this one. This was the second book that I was trying to finish before the Spooktacular readathon was over, but obviously I didn't get it done. But I will get it done soon, hopefully tonight or tomorrow. So that is really it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. I would love to hear some of the books that you read this month, and if you like this video, please like and subscribe if you're not already, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Bye!